Guys, Ryan Bidoff here, blogging from paradise. Mind thinks manipulate. It doesn't think co-create. Look at my Thai shirt. I purchased this for 90 baht in Phnom Penh, Thailand. Cute little, well, cute's the right word, but quiet little community. About 2 hours south of Bangkok, Phnom Penh. Learning how to say it from some of the folks who work at the Thai restaurant. Look at that shade of yellow. It looks pretty cool. It's absolutely nothing to do with the co-create manipulate, but then again, it does. Because I live this really neat life where I could wear a shirt that I could buy for 90 baht, which is $3 USD. At least it was back then. I think it is now. USD's been pretty strong. In Thailand, and lived there for overall back and forth between all our trips, like 2 years. And we've spent a lot of the past year in the States, but overall, coming in May, I'm sure we'll be on the road again by then, most likely. We will be. It'll be 6 years of traveling the world. And a lot of it was, even though I struggled with this concept, there still was a part of it that I at least was present with, and it helped me live this cool life. Now I'm really stepping into it. And in truth, all of my struggles happened because I tried to manipulate people into doing things for me, to serve me, rather than co-creating. And it's just a fear-based energy. Now, you could be super positive, you could be happy, you could be nice, you could be kind, you could have all these elements and still manipulate people. And you know you're manipulating them. So many times there's that negative connotation like, well, you're just lying and you have no integrity. I know a lot of really awesome people. I mean, myself for so many years. I was really good at what I did. I had so much fun, I was kind, I was grateful, but ultimately I was trying to convince. The energy still had force in it. I wasn't co-creating with other people, where both of us were coming together and connecting. I wasn't coming from that pure space of love and fun and joy. On a level, I was following it, but overall, I was trying to get them to do things for me. And you'll see a lot of happy people, a lot of nice people, a lot of your friends. I mean, I still do it sometimes, but a lot of them, they build it on manipulation. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not a bad thing. It's just when you're coming from that space energetically, you'll kind of be here, and you'll have success, and you can make a lot of money, and you could have a lot of clout and really kill it. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, you'll be here, like right up here, and it'll be an awesome life. Awesome. No, I'm proof of that. Look at the life I live, and I mean, I did a lot of manipulating over the years, just from the aspect of trying to get people to do stuff, even if it's from a loving space, more positive space. But when you move from manipulating to get money, to get traffic, to grow your list, when you're just focused on those people and numbers and people, and just convince and convert and convince and make them feel their pain points so they can come to you. How arrogant is that? I put that in one update on Blogging Boost. It's really arrogant. It's funny how our mind works, because it's mind. This is outside of mind. We're talking about the co-creating. When you move from trying to get people to realize how miserable they are so they can come to you, they have to, or, you know, they just have to solve. You gotta manipulate, you gotta persuade. You go up to here. This is where the miracle level is. And even beyond the miracle level, you can't even see it. That's where the happy, loving, fun-loving billionaires are. You know them. You know them really well. And even if they're not billionaires, you could have nothing. You could have, in the physical world, material world, you could manifest no money right now. You could have 3 cents. And if you're up here on that level, doesn't matter. You're full of love, you're full of just that fun energy, that co-creating energy, and you just know that this world, like what you can see and touch, it's all illusory. There's a truth, and that's love. Then there's anything that's not pure love is fear-based. And the manipulation is fear-based, and it happens in mind. And I'm not saying, again, I'm past it, but you want to look at what you're doing, and if your predominant energy is to try to convince people, you're manipulating. Sorry. If your predominant energy is trying to stress the benefits so people will just... Anytime you're doing something to try to get people to do something, you're manipulating them. Just admit it, and it's okay. It's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but you look at my As Seen On page, I see a lot of top bloggers out there that absolutely rock. Like, they're just awesome in their own way. But I don't know of any other top bloggers in the world who've been on so many world famous sites. And by no means am I a top blogger in the world. I don't see myself that way. I just see myself as a blogger. So I don't take that top bloggers in the world. But I look at a lot of top bloggers, and I'm looking at my I've seen on and where they've been featured, and it's like amazing. Just the other day, I was on the Ed Till show. I mean, nationally syndicated, 40, 50 stations, I think, across the country. I mean, even my dad knew who he was. Oh yeah, I know Ed Till. It's a big time show, and they interviewed me, little old me. And I was on one of Michael Gerber's sites. He's the #1 small business guru on earth. And I was featured on his site along with some other experts. So it's like, and you know all the other ones, it's like, how do I get on these world famous sites? It's because my energy is moving from a lower spectrum, like even here, to like up here, because I'm really trying to co-create. I'm doing this from a place of love and fun. And the point is, there's still going to be that, even if your predominant energy is love and fun, there's still going to be that energy of you, a smaller and smaller energy, that's going to want stuff. That's okay. Just don't make that your dominant energy. Like a lot of bloggers, they get up before the day and are just like, how could I grow my list? How could I get money? I have this goal of like $80,000 a year or 150, and oh man, I made 600 grand last year. I made 10 grand today. Manipulation. What are you going to do that? To manifest that. You're not going to try to manifest it. You're going to try to convince people, and it's going to be pushing and straining and striving, and this will bring you to a higher level you had envisioned, a miracle level, when you're co-creating. And what's the way to co-create? Before I even go into, well, I'm going to that. How do you co-create? People are like, how do I co-create? I manipulate. I'm still going to do what you're doing predominantly. First off, really get yourself in the present moment. You got to become aware of this urge, and it's not easy in the beginning. And it gets easier. Things like meditation. Meditation is probably the best thing you could ever do from the aspect of becoming fully aware of what's going on in your mind right now and your motives. What are you terrified of? How are you moving away from love? How are you moving fear-based? How are you trying to control other people because you can't control your own life? How are you trying to manipulate other people because you feel out of control in your life? How are you trying to get money because you feel like even if you have this much money, you're always going to lose everything? How would you feel if you lost everything? I've lost all my money. I've gone down to 4 cents. I've actually gone down to 0. I've been 70 grand in debt. I know that feeling. A lot of folks, even if they manifest a lot of success, they don't know that terror yet. So their life is a lesson in manipulation. And then you look at me and you're like, how is this guy so creative? How does he draw these analogies? Well, number one, it's not me. I'm just the conduit. I'm God's pen. Number two, I'm not bound by all those lies, aka fears. I don't mind getting here in front of this video and talking for 15 or 20 minutes. There's not the fear of, oh my God, how many people are going to view it if I'm here long enough a minute? Don't have that fear. Don't have the fear of criticism, at least highly developed. Don't have the fear, it's highly developed as I once have, I still have it, but of losing everything. And when you're coming from that present space, when you're really meditating regularly, you're seeing what's really the feelings in your being, everything's feelings. It's like Kelly and I in our course are talking about that. You will start doing things. Well, first you have to feel these energies, these manipulation, these fear. It's all fear-based. And that will mean crying. In most cases, that will mean maybe punching a pillow. I said always have a pillow handy. Crying into a pillow, punching a pillow. A lot of grief, a lot of energy there. Most people would rather not explore that. But gotta eat a shit sandwich sometimes. You know, you want to do things from a place of love. You're gonna release the fear, and that's okay. But you'll be doing things to co-create. Move from manipulate to co-create. I love doing this with my fingers, which is kind of interesting. You're going to be doing things predominantly from a place of love. So you're not going to be thinking, like when I sent out my list email this morning, I'm not thinking, let me see how many I have, let me see how many I don't have. There wasn't that fear-based. There's just, let me send this out to everybody with love. 14 Reasons Why I Love Sabu Sabu Fiji. It's going to be a free book today. And then I'm sending it out to people with love when it's $1.99. I'm just doing it with love. It's going to help people build their bucket list, expand their consciousness, move out of survival mode, be where I've been, live vicariously through me. That's the love. And fun. So love, doing things with love and having fun are your predominant intents. That energy changes totally, and you don't give a shit about all these outcomes that most people only worry about because they're afraid that it's not enough. Some people truly get off on focusing on outcomes and manipulating, trying to convince, and they just love it to their core. But it's not the type of love that opens you up to everything. Because anytime you try to control something outside of you and you really stress and strain, and you'll see a lot of the icons build their businesses on these fundamentals, and they're doing good. It's just like you could either be here or up 15 notches or like beyond that. And I'm just moving into this space recently. I feel blessed to be getting just a little bit at a time, a little bit energetically beyond that, and doing things from that place of love, that wholeness and completeness, and that fun. And the less I depend on people, and the more I focus on God and love and just doing things from that place of joy and seeing the illusory nature of all this other stuff, I manipulate less. Whether people come to me that I'm the greatest thing in the world, and how all of a sudden recently I seem to be just phenomenal. And I'm just like, oh, whatever, it's just God. Or, you know, I'm garbage. It doesn't have sway over me. And I appreciate it all. I accept it with love. I'm spreading love, and I see people no matter what. But it's that place where you're going to have to make a jump, and it probably means not following the advice of people you follow the advice with, maybe for, 5 or 10 or 15 years of your online career, because they're manipulating. Or you can keep going down that path, and everything will be awesome, and everything is good, but it's almost like letting go of the okay or the good to become the great. Well, this is like letting go the manipulate to co-create. And you're co-creating with other bloggers. You're co-creating with all the people on your list, because their consciousness, your consciousness, you're being together energetically to just raise the collective consciousness of the world. Only concepts might seem so far out there, but the more time you're present with it, and the more meditating you're doing, and the more present, and your mind's not racing, and you know all these feelings, up, down, down, you're going to start really coming into harmony with who you really are, slowly but surely. And you're going to be like, you know what? It's so much more fun to co-create. And of course, the outcomes that we still want, these aspects of us want these outcomes. We're still ego. We still have this. They will unfold beautifully through different channels. And through channels you expected and some you didn't expect. So you'll have your money. You'll have your traffic. You'll have your retweets. You'll have all that cool stuff, because there's a part of you that still wants that. But you're just going to move so far away from manipulating, from trying to convince, from like straining, from really trying to use certain words to get people to do stuff. You'll move from doing things to get people to do stuff, even if you feel it's for their good, towards co-creating with others, doing things from a place of love and just fun and joy, and not trying to get shit from them. Even if you think it's for their own good. You won't be looking. You'll be being and loving. Guys, that's it for today. Hey, manipulate or co-create? Guns are pretty decent, man. 42 in a couple months? That's more bullshit, the whole age thing. Each year, not even like a fine wine. It's just the light. And seriously though, and I'm not even joking, look at this. Look at this guy. If you would have seen the shape I was in, just like for love, and I know this sounds like a really weird direction, but no, you have to think about it, because my energy runs through my body, and that's part of what I'm doing as well. So you, again, a little to the side, but you got to think about it. Really take care of your body. I wanted to add that, because again, a lot of that manipulation with other people, it's like you don't feel you're in control, you're having problems with your health, afraid of your health, you're not taking care of yourself. So that's another aspect. I had read how Tony Robbins walks like 3 marathons, or 2 marathons with 52 miles over the course of a weekend, and I'm just like, this guy's like phenomenal. You see how taking care of his body, taking care of his health, really, really helps him shine so brightly. And he does things from the place of love too. That guy started off, like all of us in his career, maybe a little more manipulation side. And that changed over the years, and he's really coming from that space of love. Guys, that's it for today. Leave me a comment below. Are you manipulating or co-creating? How are you moving more towards co-creating or manipulating? And again, it's okay to manipulate, guys. We all do it. It's just you want to make that a little bit of your campaign, and almost all of it that co-creating, where you're working with others. People, your commenters, you're creating, people open your emails, they're co-creating with you as they share your blog post, read your blog post. We're all coming together. Guys, 14 minutes. The sweat's about ready to pour. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise.